We are going to talk at length about how an agent, being me, evaluates your novel. We're going to talk about what makes a fabulous romance book stand out in a slush pile. We're going to talk a little bit more about where to get help in publishing. Here's my intention. At the end of this hour and a half, I want everybody at this presentation to have a really, really good understanding of what the specific elements are in a romance novel that attracts the attention of an agent. That's my intention. However, I understand that 90 minutes is probably not enough to download all the information in my head onto your computers. Therefore, I'm going to spend quite a bit of time at the end of this webinar explaining where to go from here. Because very likely you'll wake up tomorrow and go, oh, I had one more question, or oh, that made a lot of sense, but now it's brought up another question. So I'm going to give a lot of resources and what's next and where to go for help and more information. You know, if a new author were to Google publish my book, there's quite a bit of information out there that's probably wrong. So that's why I'm really sincere and I want to get great resources into everybody's hands. So that's my intention for today. And if by any chance there are authors on the webinar who are already multi-published, either in traditional publishing or self-publishing, feel free to, bring those questions to the table also, because your expertise really helps everybody. The questions you ask are just as valid. So I'm hoping to be able to answer everyone's questions, but my skew is going to be very much about new writers and how to create a book that's really going to stand out in the slush pile and get published. So let's start. The number one question I get asked by other writers, by my clients, at interviews, at conferences is, Dear Sarah, what are you looking for in submissions? And what that really means is, what is it about a brand new debut writer that catches your attention and makes you pick up the phone and offer representation? And I will say that my specialty is debut writers right now. I have 17 clients, and pretty much all of my sales in the past several years have been for debut writers, including the ones that Roseanne kindly mentioned up front, Ronnie Lauren, Tiffany Rice, Ashley McNamara, and it's really, really exciting to sell somebody's first book. Oh, do we do a lot of celebrating. So what I am looking for is a specific list of things, and believe me, relax, have a good cup of coffee. We are going to go in depth. So take notes, listen to this webinar over and over, anything you need to do to really get into the mind of an agent or an editor, because I'm going to be specific. I am looking for superior writing, a unique concept, platform, and a professional attitude. And it's really a checklist. When I open up a query letter and it's caught my attention, then I stop and I take a deep breath and I evaluate this potential writer from all these perspectives. Then I ask for sample pages. This is a little bit about our routine at our office, at least. The next thing I do is I read sample pages, and if it grabs me, I stop again, and I evaluate the manuscript from these 4 aspects, and I ask for the full manuscript. If I fall in love with the full manuscript, I stop again, and I evaluate based on these 4 aspects, and then I offer representation. So if you are a writer out there who is really interested in getting an agent or an editor, or even in self-publishing, these are tips that can really help your manuscript stand out. Okay, this is the most important slide in the entire presentation. And I really, argued with myself as to whether or not I should break down each slide and offer examples and et cetera, but I thought it would be a little bit too complicated, because what I really want is just to really connect with you verbally with my voice by talking, and we can talk through each of this, and I'm going to talk through some examples, and yes, absolutely ask questions. That is what I am here for. So I'm probably going to answer those questions at the end as opposed to during. So relax, sit back, and enjoy, because here we go. Now, superior writing, what does that mean? When somebody asks me, Sarah, what does it take to get your attention? And I say, oh, superior writing, their response is typically, oh, that's such a cop-out answer. Of course it has to be well written. What we really want to know is the insider secrets. Well, this is what superior writing means to me. These are sort of the inside secrets, and that's why I love these webinars, because I can really flesh out ideas with authors that I can't really do via query letter. So the very first thing, And this is extremely important. Before hitting send to any agent or editor, your book has to be done, as in completed, as in 100% you think that this is the best possible product you could ever present to the world and it's done. Not, well, I finished it last night and I'm really excited to have you read it, but rather, I'm done with the manuscript, I've looked at it, I've read it, I've reread it, I've done the things that I think necessary in order to get this onto the bookshelves and in readers' hands. That's the kind of manuscript that really turns me on. So when I read a query letter and it says, "Dear Sarah, I have a 100,000-word completed romance novel," I'm already impressed.